In the year 180 AD, General Maximus Decimus Meridius, a celebrated Roman commander renowned for his valor and unwavering loyalty, leads his legions to a resounding victory against the fierce Germanic tribes near Vindobona. This decisive triumph solidifies his position as a military hero and earns him the deep respect of the aging Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a wise and just ruler, recognizes the true strength of the Roman Republic and desires to restore power to the Senate. He believes Commodus, his ambitious and power-hungry son, is unfit to rule and intends to name Maximus his successor, making him regent of Rome. Maximus decides to think it over. In the meantime, Commodus is informed that he won't be the next emperor. In a hissy fit of rage and grief, he smothers his father and then lies about it. Maximus just knows something evil has happened, but before he can rally his troops and serve justice, Commodus has him arrested and taken for execution. It's not really clear why Commodus has him arrested. But it definitely has something to do with the fact that Commodus knows Maximus suspects something. Anyway, Maximus vanquishes his executioners and then races back to Spain. Commodus, however, beats him to the punch. Roman praetorians have already slaughtered Maximus' family. Maximus is beside himself. He buries his family and passes out. A slave caravan picks him up, and when he awakes he's somewhere in the desert. Soon we learn that he's in Africa on the outskirts of the Roman Empire. He's purchased along with the other slaves by a slave owner entertainer named Proximo. During his first training session at Proximo's house training camp, Maximus refuses to fight. We get the impression that he's just planning on standing around and getting killed so the misery will be over. Everything changes once he's thrust into the arena, where he decides to defend himself and ultimately distinguishes himself. Meanwhile, Commodus arrives back in Rome, entering like a conquering hero, according to Senator Gracchus. Commodus has his first meeting with the Senate, and it's clear that even though he pretends to care about the people, all he really cares about is power. Lucilla, who has some idea of what really happened to their father, acts as an intermediary between Commodus and the senators. Commodus knows he needs to do something to consolidate power, and he decides to stage a series of gladiator games to honor his late father and give the people the kind of spectacle they want and crave. Back in Africa, Maximus wins another major battle. He's clearly not happy about the way things have turned out, and angrily throws a sword into the stands, screaming, "Are you not entertained?" It's epic. And yes, Russell Crowe is scowling the whole time. Proximo tells him that he too was once a gladiator, and that he was released from servitude by Marcus Aurelius. He also tells him they're going to Rome to compete. He knows Maximus is good, but he could be magnificent. He also tells him that the key to winning his freedom is winning the crowd. The gladiator caravan arrives in Rome. Their first competition is a reenactment of one of the battles of Carthage. They're supposed to play the role of the losers, but end up destroying their competition. Commodus is pleased and goes down to meet the famous Spaniard. He discovers that the Spaniard is Maximus, and the two have a strange confrontation. Commodus is in disbelief and Maximus promises revenge. The crowd loves Maximus already, and Commodus can't kill him because that would be political suicide. Lucilla's glimpsed a ray of hope in Maximus' survival, and visits him later that night. He has no interest in talking with her, because he thinks she was complicit in Commodus' plans. She wants him to meet with the senator, but he refuses. He's not interested in her plans or in helping Rome. The next we see of him, he's fighting in the arena again, this time against a famous gladiator who's come out of retirement, Tigress of Gaul and 4 angry tigers. Maximus wins again. At this point, Russell Crowe's scowl has racked up several gazillion points. Commodus visits him again and tries to get him angry. He gloats over the death of Maximus' wife and son, but Maximus doesn't take the bait. He simply says, "The time for honoring yourself will soon be at an end, Highness." After leaving the arena, Maximus' former assistant, Cicero, finds him and gives him some small statues of his family. Maximus tells Cicero to come and find him in the near future. Commodus is really angry with Maximus in the crowd. He knows he can't just kill Maximus. His man from the Senate tells him a story about a special sea snake that lies in wait, even while its enemies take bites out of it. Commodus will do the same. Cicero visits Maximus and tells him that Maximus' soldiers are camped at Ostia, but would be ready to fight for him immediately. Maximus gives him a mission. Cicero flags down Lucilla, and tells her that Maximus will meet with her senator. Lucilla and Senator Gracchus visit Maximus. Maximus proposes a plan: buy his freedom so he can ride out to his men and return with an army to kill Commodus and restore republican rule. Gracchus is wary at first but ultimately agrees to the plan. He knows there's really no other option. Commodus is basically sporting a forehead tattoo that reads, "I am evil incarnate." At this point, Proximo refuses to help Maximus. He thinks the plan won't work given how knowledgeable Commodus is. Shortly thereafter, Gracchus is arrested. Lucilla visits Maximus again and tells him the plot must move forward immediately, because Commodus is starting to figure things out. She kisses Maximus before departing. While she is away visiting with Maximus, her son Lucius is back at the palace. Lucius is playing with a wooden sword, and when Commodus asks him what he's doing, he says he's playing Gladiator and playing the role of Maximus, the savior of Rome. Commodus, his suspicion aroused, asks him who referred to him as the savior. He knows what's up. When Lucilla returns, Commodus lets her know that he knows that something fishy is up, and basically threatens to kill those dearest to her if she doesn't tell him what's going on. Proximo visits Maximus and lets him out of his cell. He's changed his mind probably because Maximus told him the truth about who killed Marcus Aurelius. Maximus' gladiator friends assist in his escape, which is hampered by the arrival of Roman praetorians. Proximo's killed by them, and Maximus makes it outside the city walls. He sees Cicero on a horse. He calls out Maximus' name and is then hung. Maximus rushes to save him, but it's too late. Cicero is shot with arrows and Maximus is recaptured. Commodus visits him beneath the Colosseum, and tells him that they'll fight in the arena. Before the battle, Commodus stabs him in the back and orders Quintus to cover up the wound. Maximus and Commodus fight, with Maximus eventually killing him. Maximus, however, succumbs to his wounds. Before he dies, he orders Senator Gracchus reinstated, and expresses Marcus Aurelius' final wish: that Rome be a republic again. Lucilla rushes down and orders that he be honored as a soldier of Rome. He arrives in the afterlife and greets his wife and son. As the news of Commodus's death spreads, the Roman people rejoice, celebrating the fall of the tyrant and the return of hope for a brighter future. Don't miss out on future recaps of classic and modern cinematic masterpieces. Subscribe now and let's dive into the world of film.